Hey everyone, this is Robin from Designhill and your host for the day. I hope you and your family are keeping well and safe. I would like to welcome you for this workshop with Denisa, where we are going to discuss about how to leverage social media to get more clients as a designer and illustrator. Today's event is brought to you by Designhill, world's leading creative marketplace that caters to the creative needs of businesses and individuals alike, who can source high quality designs from professional designers. Through its print-on-demand marketplace called Print Shop by Designhill, you can also buy 50 plus unique products with thousands of artworks created by a world-class community of independent artists. So moving ahead, let me introduce our speaker for today. We have with us Denisa Herman. Denisa Herman aka Yogatella is a Barcelona-based freelance illustrator and graphic designer. She's a self-taught designer and illustrator and started on this path 5 years ago, creating illustrations for UI. However, she gives huge credits to personal projects such as 100 Days Challenge, which launched her into this career. She began with pen and paper, creating one illustration every day, and no single day was skipped. She then moved to Adobe Illustrator and finally to Procreate. She says that with access to the internet and a rigorous discipline and time management, anyone can become a designer if you turn your dream into a system of habits. Thank you so much, Denisa, for taking out time from your schedule and joining us today for this workshop. Can you please say a quick hi to the audience? Hi, Denisa, can you hear me? You are on mute.
I told you is going to happen. Forgetting to unmute. So, hi, greetings from Barcelona. Today is a very rainy day, but usually it's very nice. Thank you so much, Designhill and Robin, for inviting me over. I'm very honored, so to say. It's my first talk show. Webinar online. So bear with me. Hope you're gonna like it.
Great. So before we start the session, here is a big announcement. We are giving away certificates to the attendees who would stick till the end of the workshop. You just can't miss on this chance, so stay tuned till the end. Also, you can take the screenshot of this event, post it on your Instagram story, and tag DesignhillDH and Yogatella and use hashtag DesignhillEvents. One lucky winner will have a chance to win a print shop gift card worth $50. Along with that, as a gesture of appreciation that you could join us for this event, we will be sharing some special offers for you. So keep an eye on our chat section to get the same. All right. So before we start the session, let's quickly look at what Design Hill is all about.
Okay.
So guys, that was all about Design Hill. Now we're all set to start the session. We will take up questions during the session. So if you have any questions, please drop them in the questions screen on your question section on your screen. So over to you, Denisa. You can now share your screen and start with the presentation.
Okay, just a second. Share. Good. Okay, I'm not going to see your screen, the screen and the chat anymore. Hello, everyone. So let's start first with the first slide. So again, I am Yogatella. I go by the name Yogatella online. My real name is Denisa, and I am a digital illustrator based in Barcelona. I started my career 4 or 5 years ago But I chose this path to become an illustrator basically 4 years ago in 2017. And you can see here 2 illustrations, and you can see the progress, one from 2017 and one from 2020. And let's just out, that's my first illustration that I've uploaded on Instagram. You can even see it now if you scroll, if you go on and scroll my Insta account. And I was in Les Deux Alpes. It's an amazing ski station in the Alps, French Alps. And I remembered I was in this coffee shop and I was looking out the window. I was in vacation and I had to go back to work in Barcelona. And I was thinking, how amazing would it be to just earn my living doing something that I love, because I was sketching exactly this illustration. And that's when I made this decision. What if I start today to draw one illustration every day for 100 days, and at the end of this challenge, I will have a mountain or a pile of portfolio to show to clients. I was already doing some design work and basically UI, but I was still a beginner and I was more attracted to illustrations. And I chose, here you can see why I chose illustrations. Because basically design is problem solving, okay? So I thought that illustrations or images are the fastest way, in my view, to solve problems. And you know probably this saying that an image is worth 1,000 words. So for me, this is my way of solving problems. Even when I started, I was doing for web design, UI, like illustrations for web designs. So even in that medium, like UI, illustrations started to have a huge impact, and even in the online medium, moreover in the online medium. And yeah, so basically when I finished my first illustration challenge after 100 days, I think I was on the 17th day, and I got my first client. It was a client from Glasgow, and he wanted 10 illustrations of mine to put them on a t-shirt. And from there, I was like, this is it. I'm going to continue and continue and continue. And I didn't stop. I continued to do around 3 more series of 100 days challenges. I didn't skip any day. And I started to have more and more clients. In 2021, just before I go on, I am creating this new project, my own personal project, of course. It's going to be called Barcelona Tela from Yucatela. And I'm going to draw every week a couple of illustrations about Barcelona, more like a guide about people here, about places, what to visit when the pandemic is over, restaurants, shops, anything. So this will keep me going, and you'll see how important it is to never stop. You can see here my website, Instagram. Basically, if you go on my website, you can go from my website to other social media channels, Instagram, Patreon, Dribble. Those 3 are the ones that I use most of the time. Let me check very quickly. Everything is all right here. Okay, cool. And before I go on, I want to urge you people to share your accounts. This is the right time and context to share what you are up to, share among yourselves, what you're working on, introduction about yourself, talk about yourself among yourselves while listening to me. This is for me, more like opportunity, or think of it as a real conference where you attend and you start to speak with people what they're up to. It's perfect to talk about yourself and attract more clients. The first slide, let's start with the strategy that I've created for myself. Here, I know Bruce Lee said, "Be water, my friend," but I'm saying, "Be water, my fire end." It's a pun of words. Basically, if you want to be a successful freelancer and designer, in my view, you have to be very, very adaptable and flexible. Adaptable to the client and flexible, and also to know how to read people. In my view, this will help you a lot. If you know how to read people and understand what exactly do they want, this is a way of how you can avoid changes, a lot of design changes, if you know from the beginning what does the client want. And before you get those clients, let's see how you can create this systematic or system of opportunities for you in order to get those clients. And for me was, as I told you, to make a commitment, okay? To make a plan. I made this plan. For 100 days, I'm gonna create something. I actually chose a theme. I was not going to just create something. My first theme was mountains, because I love nature. And the next one was Japan, and the third one was about my friends. I drew my friends. I attracted actually my friends as clients first when I did this challenge. And here I want to quote someone. Actually, let me show you the books. I don't know if you can see them right now because I'm sharing my screen. I will show you at the end. But you can start also with this book by Austin Kleon. It's called Show Your Work, and another one, Still Like an Artist. And he explained there, the best way to get started on the path to sharing your work is to think about what you want to learn and make a commitment to learning it in front of others. But this is what I did. I was not the best at illustration, but I didn't think about this. I just wanted to share my process and what I'm up to, and to share that I can do it. This is a very good opportunity to show your potential clients that you can keep your word, you have a deadline. Basically, I was my own first client, and I took myself seriously. I didn't want to miss any. I didn't want to go to bed before I finished my design. And in time, I got better. It's inevitable not to get good at something that you do if you do it every day and you want to be better than your yesterday's self. So the most important thing after you start to share your work and make that commitment is to actually get good at it. And you can get good at it if you're very self-critical. And I think designers are self-critical by nature. It comes with it. Here, you can see that in the second slide is this Come Out and Play. This is a video and a song, actually. It's about a girl who was working on her designs and was sketching and drawing on her own and never wanted to share her works with anyone else. She was afraid of the feedback. She was afraid of showing her stuff. And suddenly in her bedroom, her dog, she was drawing, and her dog opens the window. You can even look it up now. It's called Billie Eilish Come Out and Play. And opens the window, and all her files go out the window and land on people's faces, and they start to grab those papers and they look at her art and they are so mesmerized and they love it. And she's suddenly surprised that people love her art. And for me, this is a very good example. It's such a beautiful song also of how not to be afraid to show your work. Don't be afraid. How it is, show it. And you'll see in 100 days from now that you'll be so good at it if you keep going and you don't care about anything else. You don't care about whether it's going to be okay, their feedback. First, you have to beat yourself and you have to commit to your plan. Now, In the meantime, you will find your voice. This don't care about not having a style. You will form a style in the process. This is another video. I like this illustrator. She's Lisa Congdon. She's so inspirational. She started her illustration career in her late 30s. So no matter what age you are, you can start your childhood dream or your dream. If you're interested in design or whatever you're interested in, or your passion, just start. And right now she's in her 50s and she's a very, very prolific and famous designer, illustrator. She also has a book. It's called Find Your Voice. You can find it online. But I shared there in my PDF. Probably you already have the PDF. If not, I will share it with you, or Designhill can share it with you. And she's her inspiration. She's very inspirational. Don't think that, oh, I have a full-time job. I had a full-time job, and you can do it. After work, 1 hour or 2 hours every day, just do it. You will never attract clients if you don't share your work, if you don't first do it and share it, and then get good at it. This is it. And the last thing before I go on is be easy to find. This is one very important aspect I found on one of the videos from Futura. Futura is a channel on YouTube which talks about or shares ideas about how to be good at design, how to learn graphic design, how to get clients also, how to price your work, lots of very useful facts about the design world. And I don't know if you ever heard about this 10,000 hours concept. It's a concept coined by a psychologist in the 90s, and Malcolm Gladwell in his book Outliers to mention it. And basically it says that someone needs around 10,000 hours in his lifetime to become a master. Now, lots of people debate this, but the idea is that you need to practice. You need to invest your time in what you want, in your dream. And design and drawing and illustration is, for me, is not too much about talent. It's about practice. So many people tell me, oh, you're so talented. It's not about talent. It's about that. If you look at my first design, it's not, no, it's not. It's not talent. It's just that I practice every day. And if you're the type like me to make excuses, those things with challenges and commit in front of so many people online, it's gonna work if you're like me. Because if I do it for myself, for example, I do it with sugar. I say, from now on, I'm not going to eat Nutella for 10 days. If I sell it to myself, I'm gonna go to the jar of Nutella the second day. But if I commit in front of others, I said, okay, I have to keep it. This is how I work. You have to find for yourself how it is. Good. Now we come to the part about content. What type of content to attract clients? Okay, here I start again with another quote from Austin Kleon. Make stuff you love and talk about stuff you love, and you'll attract people who love that kind of stuff. Easy peasy. If you like cars, draw cars. Draw cars every day for all your life, and you'll get so good at it that Elon Musk will hire you, okay? Actually, this is a real life story. The head designer of Chrysler company, the automotive company, he's called Ralph. He's actually appearing in one of the abstract series on Netflix. I'm going to talk about this series very soon. And he, all his life, since he was a kid, he drew cars. This is the only thing that he drew. And right now, he's the head designer of Chrysler. He basically fulfilled his dream. When he was 14, his aunt sent a letter to Chrysler and sent a letter with all his portfolio, just images, like drawings of cars. And this was in a time when there was no social media. And he received, at 14 years old, he received a letter back from the head designer at that time, and he urged him to follow his dream in design because he has a great potential. This is so inspirational. You see, you can fulfill your dreams. Right now, if you're stuck in a job, it's 9 to 6, it's not what you like, but you have a dream, just start today. Just start with a little bit, and then in 1 year, you have a mountain, and you'll have a portfolio to show. Moreover, you'll have proof to show to a client that you can keep your own word, and you can follow a certain or form a certain system of habits that you formed for yourself. And the idea behind the content also is to draw or design with purpose, like create a purpose. If you don't have a purpose, create it. If you don't have an opportunity, create it. No designer just had clients just like this flowing from the heaven or raining. They created those opportunities through sharing and working very hard. For example, when I talk about the purpose, this is also, for example, I like mountains, okay? And my dream is to design a poster for Red Bull. For me, Red Bull is so cool because I like sports a lot, and extreme sports and skating and snowboarding. So what I'm doing now is, or sometimes I draw some nice poster designs with the theme of snowboarding and mountains and nature. And in time, when I will see that I'll get good at it, for me, when I think that this will match Red Bull's poster, I'm going to contact them. This is a dream client for me, okay, Red Bull, let's say. But on the other hand, I'm also attracted to healthy lifestyle, food. I love food. I'd love to design a menu or make a design for a restaurant. And I've got already some clients who are interested in me selling some illustrations for package design. How I did that? I went to Dribbble, and in all my food-related illustrations, I used hashtags: package design, commercial shop, and so on. Hashtags are very important if you want to be found. But don't get obsessed with hashtags. The most important part is for your design to be good, okay? Because you can use the hashtags, and then if they go and see that the design is like this, they are not going to choose it. So it's working hand in hand. And multi-purpose content, okay? Show behind the scenes. This is the part where I talk about behind the scenes. Show them your process, how you draw. This is so therapeutical sometimes. People love to see how people create something, okay? You're going to attract not just clients, you're going to attract also a community and followers, if you're interested more in followers. But I would say concentrate on attracting clients, not followers. And also another thing is to have a blog or a YouTube channel where you can show. If you're not into videos, then just go and create a blog. This will help you also if a client asks you about your process. You will show them, look, I have a video about how my process is. I talked in a video, or I talked in this article, how is my process? If not, let me explain you one more time. And this is it about content. Create content that makes you content. I really love this one of words. Okay, now we get to the social media part. Finally, platforms for designers. I think you've already seen the poll. What's your favorite one? Mine is Instagram, because it matches with my kind of projects, which is day-to-day, but it used to be, right now, not so much anymore. But another one is Dribbble. Dribbble is where I post my best, the creme de la creme, like the best designs. And I have to say that 70% of my clients come from Dribbble, 20% from Instagram, and 10% from Facebook. But it's not really that good to have lots of social media. Be on 3 or maximum 4, depends, and be good at them. I mean, invest time because they take time. It takes time to post on everyone on each of the social media platforms. But there is Buffer. Buffer is a great tool because you can post at the same time on all of them. Let me show you. So bad, guys, that I cannot see you or what you write, but maybe I would be very taken apart by what you're writing. But if for me, your feedback is important, but there will be a QA session. Anyway, so this is Buffer. This is the tool that I use to even schedule my designs. For example, when I was doing the Yogatella 300 challenge, this was a challenge that I've done in 2020. This challenge is the one that was the changer for me because I challenged myself to create 300 illustrations in 2020. And for the first part of the year, I was so lazy. And then suddenly I did everything and I finished it. But it was such a good challenge because it was not anymore drawing every day, but drawing or challenging myself to do something new without knowing. I had to create my own vision about it. I have to create my own deadline for it. So it was very different from my other 100 days challenges. And Buffer was okay for this because I could schedule in advance all the illustrations and it would go instantly. Okay. So right now, let me see. Okay, and a must-have, apart from social media, I know that this is about social media, but a must-have is to have your own website. It's very important because this is how you can get findable. By if someone goes on Google and they write Illustrator in Barcelona, am I found? Am I the first one? Probably not. I bet I'm not. I have to work more on that. And this is where you have to come in terms with SEO keywords. In Designhill, I've seen that there are tons of articles and also a very good webinar about SEO keywords. It's very good to get to know about them. And there is an article on Google developers about SEO keywords. And what are they? Basically, they are key phrases or words on your website that make it easy for other people to find you. It's very good if you get to know about them, if you want to have a website and be more findable outside social media. One interesting rule that I found, the 1% rule, it says that, let me show you. I don't know if you know about it. According to the 1% rule, of the 1% of the internet users are responsible for creating content and 99% are consumers. For me, this is so cool because it just reminds me that I don't want to be part of the consumers. We want to be part of the creator, the 1% creator community. And of course, it's important, the scrolling part, and it's important to also consume others people content. But if you want to get good at something, invest time. These 2 hours of social media that you give every day, replace it a little bit with creating something. I think this is a very good example. I mean, for me, I liked this idea when I found it. And this is another interesting fact, is that 59% of the world population is on social media. Imagine how cool it is to live in those times right now. Okay, we don't talk about a pandemic, but we talk about the internet. That we get to share our work, and if we are good at or get so good that more and more people talk about us and more people share our stuff, we get to have so much visibility to so many people all of a sudden. And now, before we go on with the little break, spamming. don't spam others. And for me, the saddest question ever is follow me back, or hey, can you check those accounts out? This is great art that you have. Can you follow me too? This is, for me, is like cyber begging. Okay. It's a no-no. For me, it's actually more like social media distancing than attracting people to check you out. If you want to attract people, attract them with facts. And facts are your design, your work. Is it good? Okay, I'm going to follow you. But don't go to someone and ask, hey, can you follow me back? For me, this is a no-no. If you want, actually, even Austin Kleon in his book, and I found about these books after I went through all my all these opinions that I've formed. He said that the saddest question on the internet is to follow me back. This is where I got it from about this one. And let them find you. Let people come to you. No, don't go to them. It's even worse if you go to them when it's not the right context. And right now, as I told you, right now, for example, this webinar is a good context to ask people what they are working on or show your work. Okay, but okay, you can say follow me, but I won't follow you if you say that. And talk about yourself in the right context, as I said. Design conferences or meetings, meetups are the right opportunity. Or when people ask you, what are you working on? What are you doing? Oh, I am an illustrator. This is what I'm doing. Even if you don't do that on a full-time job, even if you have another full-time job, regard yourself as an illustrator or designer, or whatever you want to be. This is the first part. You have to talk, and then they will be like, oh, okay, well, what are you doing? And then, oh, look, this is what I'm doing. And this is a very nice way to talk about yourself, okay? So for me, this is one last example about what I think how follow me or check me out sounds. As if you'd go into a busy street of restaurants in Barcelona, for example, and then there are like lots of people from those restaurants are coming to you and like, hey, check us out. Hey, are you hungry? Check us out. You say it's annoying. Don't do that. But imagine if you heard from a friend that there is a good restaurant on that street, you go straight to it. So the best way to get people to or to attract clients is also through referring, to be so good with like also your clients that other clients will share your work and will refer you. This is the last part before we go on. I think right now it will be short break.
All right, guys. So I hope you are enjoying the session. And before we move forward, I would like to give a quick shout out to Designhill, world's leading creative marketplace, for organizing this event. Stay tuned, and we will be right back to hear more from Denisa, and then we'll take up questions and answers.
I've always been creative and always been an artist. As a young girl, I used to paint rocks and I used to sell them for a quarter on the street. And I just fell in love with it. It just grew into a passion of mine. I started looking on the web and I came across Designhill, and they had a design contest to design a logo, and I entered it and I won. And I was like, oh, this is really great. I can pick and choose what type of logos or design projects I want to work on. And it allows me to be creative, keep my hands, with my tools and working. So it's kind of nice. It's really easy to use. You can scroll through the projects and there's sections that you could go by. It's really easy. There's a few clients who have come back to use the one-on-one projects. There's one client in particular, she owns a vintage shop, and I designed her logo, and she came back. She needed a design for a flyer, and she really liked the illustrations that I did for her, so she came back a couple of times with projects. I would recommend it, especially if you're a designer that's starting out and you want to learn from other designers, seasoned designers. It's a place to keep in the game and keep using your tools. It makes me feel great, and it kind of confirms that I should be doing this. And I love to see logos that I've designed out, and proud of that. And I think that the clients are so happy that their logo represents what they do and, you know, makes them look good. It's a collaboration. It's good for me, and it's definitely good for them.
All right. So we are back again. Let's continue with the session.
Okay, so you can still see my screen, right? Do you see my screen? Okay, someone said yes. Perfect. Okay, so we start now. We continue now with the books session. Those are some inspirational books that I've read. And the first one, Austin Kleon. Austin Kleon is amazing. You know what? You can go right now and read them because they are the best inspirational books I've ever came across. Actually, I came across them just 1 month ago. I wish I had them before. One is Show Your Work, and the other one is Still Like an Artist. I know that you probably see my screen and not me, but right now I'm showing them. Anyway, start with Still Like an Artist. That's the one you should start with while you are committing to your plan, to your design plan, and then continue with Show Your Work. Or you can read them side by side in one day. They are very easy done to read and to digest. It's not so hard. I think he's the best. He was even invited by Pixar, the beautiful Pixar, and Apple, to talk there about how to steal like an artist. This is a very inspirational book because lots of people are afraid to talk about this aspect. It's not actually, there is a difference between copying and stealing, okay? And you're going to find out in this book. I wish Austin would know how much I advertise him. And next one is marketing. This is a basic marketing book, of course, Seth Godin, the god of marketing. Me, myself, I'm very not into numbers and into those protocols, but if you want to be a successful freelance designer, you should get a little bit into marketing, a little bit more, actually. But in the end, what matters is if your work is good. If your work is good, some people will come to you and offer help in marketing yourself even more. But with just a few marketing skills, a little bit that you can look on Google, you can, if your work is good, you can just get by and attract more and more clients and people. Right now, another one, which is so good it's more like design general type of book, is Hooked, How to Build Habit-Forming Products. Probably some of you already know about it. And other books, for example, Outliers by Gladwell. This is a book about success and what people did, like famous people, successful people did in order to reach this. It's very motivational. Graphic Design School, also a very good book to start on graphic design if you're self-taught and you don't want to go to school, or you can't. Okay, I've never went to design school. I actually studied American cultural studies. Yes, America has a culture. Some people were asking me, what are you studying? And I'm like, American cultural studies. And American cultural studies? But America is like everyone's culture. It's like, no, you'll see that America does have a great influence on other countries. So yeah, globalization. We learned about gender studies, anthropology, sociology, and so many other subjects that formed me as a designer, actually. There are so many other skills that you can acquire if you're a designer. Apart from just design skills, you have to acquire first also communicational skills. It's so important also with your clients. And we are going to talk about it because you attract clients, but afterwards, how do you deal with them? Another book that is very good is The Design of Everyday Things. It's so nice to get to see, and you'll like how things are designed with what purpose and by who. And this is probably also a book for UX designers. It's a lot, probably studied by UX designers. And the last one that I really recommend is The Power of Habit. If you read this one, you're gonna be full on motivated to start or commit to something. You'll see how the brain functions. You'll get to understand how our brain functions and how we get to be creatures of habit. Online resources, Future. As I told you, Future, they are amazing because they share so many insights and very good quality videos about design and the business of design, freelancing, how to learn, how to start as a self-taught graphic designer. This is another link that I really find very inspirational, how you can learn design without school. Bam. And one of the most important things is he gave an example of a guy who is actually a very good graphic designer. And he went to the basics. He went to the manual. He went on a website or the website of art schools, and he studied the curriculum. He went to and said, okay, they study in the first semester this and this and this. And he went on and he bought the books and he taught himself. But you have to commit and you have to practice. And if you don't have clients, treat yourself as a client, create fictional clients. Then this interview with Seth Godin. It's an interview actually about the other book that I've shared. This is marketing. If you don't have the time to read the book, you can just watch the interview. The Abstract, The Art of Design. This is a very nice series on Netflix. Each episode is about the best designer in his or her field. For example, the first episode starts with an illustrator, a very good illustrator. You're just going to come here and see. And it's also with designers from architecture field, product design, typeface design, costume design. There are lots and lots. It's very inspirational to see the best of the best, how they reached to be so good and how basically their process is. I really recommend it. It's so nice. I basically took pen and paper when I was watching their videos and was taking notes. It's like going to university. An honorable mention is Femke. Femke, she's a product designer from Uber. She's from Canada, and she creates videos. She has a very nice YouTube channel. And right here is one of the videos, the first videos that I've studied. Yeah, I've watched when I started on my path as an illustrator, how to find clients with freelance illustrator, Frederic Mati. She's so good at what she's doing, and she's so professional. It's very, very nice. Let's see what others, for you to have an idea. She shares lots of insights. And what's so amazing about it is if you get to create a YouTube channel, in March, I'm launching my YouTube channel. When you are going to apply for jobs or attract clients, It will be so easy to just show them, look, this is my design process. You can see this, as I told you. So, and they will also, it's like interview without, they will get to know you before the interview, and you'll have a higher chance to get hired by the client or the employer. And okay, yeah, this is the last one, Femke. And now what? Yeah, once you get a client, what happens? Right now it would be time for Q&A, but before that, I just want to finish this. Okay, that's my team. I just want to finish this, that it's very important that once you get a client, to be professional and to create a system, a system of even template, so to say, and show them how you work. Let's say that someone is contacting you and say, hey, I want this design and I want to be like this and like this and like this. And then you say, okay, no worries. This is how I work. First, it will be the sketching part. Then we will go to the coloring part. You have the right for 3 changes maximum. Major changes, just 1. Minor changes, 3. Okay, this is how I'm doing actually. Then budget. I usually ask them for the budget, but if they don't really want to say a budget, I tell them my fee, my hourly fee, okay? Then it's very important to form those good habits. How not to take things personally if they come back with changes. If you get to understand your client from the beginning and be very, very careful with the first part, which is communication part, and understand why, what's the audience, how or when and where will they use the illustration. If you ask so many questions that you get to understand, then you will get to avoid any possible changes or issues that might appear. It's very important to understand them from the beginning, make friends with them. This here is a video about how to price your work, again, from Futur. If you don't know, you can also look online what other people do in your own country, and based on where you are from, you can learn how to price your work, depending on your skill. But don't ever sell yourself cheap, and don't do things for exposure. Okay, do it if it's really worth it, but don't train people, don't let other people exploit you. And this is it. Thank you so much. This is my team. Meet Herman, Yogatela, and Denisa. Yeah, Herman is very serious, and she's taking part of the financial part. Yogatela is the fun part, and she's doing all the designs. And Denisa is in between, So yeah, that's it. Time for Q&A. I'm going to end my screen, I think. Let me come here.
All right.
I think I'm ready to shut up now.
Yeah, so all right. So Denisa, that was a very great presentation, and you covered a lot of insights about social media and designing and illustration too. So let's quickly jump to Q&A. So we have a lot of questions from our audience. So you can come to the questions tab, and we'll take the questions from there.
Yeah. Just a second.
So now we have this question which have 15 upvotes. It's by Hina. She's asking, how can you increase the interactions? How can increase the interaction my followers have with me? Only a small percentage of my followers actually respond, react to stories, post, captions, etc. So basically, she's asking, how can you increase the engagement on your social handles?
Yeah, this part, I don't want to sound offensive, but you have to be interesting. This is one thing that I'm telling to myself, because I also myself don't have lots of times any reactions from things that I post, not even comments. Engagement, it's kind of low, but there is balance between engagement and getting followers and creating a community. The most basic fact that I would say is to get interesting. If you see that you have no reaction and nothing from other followers or your community start to post something that you're so passionate about that it's impossible not to give the energy, not to share from your show people how interested you are and how interesting you can be when you talk about what you love, and they will have reactions. You have to create those reactions in people, but it depends on what kind of content you have. Again, as I said, create content that makes you content, okay? And you will get reactions. For example, most of the time I get reactions when I'm just being myself. People love that. People love to see raw material. Yeah, they love to see how you are, okay? Even if you're not, let's say, very energetic or very, I don't know, peculiar or so, you can attract people with, for example, you can create engagement by asking them something, by asking them, who are you? Get to know your audience in this case, if you want engagement from your audience. Create polls. On Instagram, you can create polls. Ask them, what do they want to see? What illustrations do they want to see next, or design? Or what are they following you? Okay, if they're following you just because you ask them to follow, then you might not get engagement. So this would be a answer. Hope it's helpful.
Sounds good. So thank you so much, Denisa, for answering this. I hope, Hina, this answers your question. So we have another question from Hina, and it has 12 upvotes. Uh, she's asking, how do you develop a hashtag strategy?
By copying. I go to the best Instagram account, in design account. Even, for example, I go to Designhill for my own design post, like Designhill post announcement. I went to them and I just copied the hashtags that you wrote. I edited some of them out, so it works best for me. But it's best to copy hashtags. Go to the best designers or illustrators or whoever you like and aspire to be, and see what hashtags do they use. On the other hand, sometimes I used to go to Google. I just typed, what are the best illustration or art hashtags, or the most trending ones on Instagram? And I took half of them, or there is a percentage. If you Google this, you'll come up across this link or article where it says that there is a percentage of how many hashtags you should use that are the most popular. So use, let's say, a few hashtags that are the most popular, and then ones that are very specific. If you're designing, if your illustration is about mountains, choose mountains, nature lovers, or whatever you want, and then very specific. Where is that mountain from? You can use a color palette if you want to attract people. If your design is very colorful, right there, colorful, or like a color palette, you see, because people can go there and write color palette to get inspiration. But also don't write too many hashtags because you can become a spammer. Ideally is like 6 hashtags max, but I most of the time get more. I mean, I post more, so yeah.
Great. Thank you for answering this.
Yeah.
And we take the next question from Tejas. It's not related to social media, but let's take this. It has 12 upvotes. He's asking what you do when you get the first brief or idea from the clients. How you approach first draft for designing.
Okay. So when they tell me what I want, first I tell them how I work. This is a way of how to keep them more attracted to you and keep them choosing you, because most of the clients, like lots of clients, send the same thing to more designers, and they will see which one they choose. Like, don't think that you're the only one that they contact. No, you're probably among a few dozens. So that's when you have to pitch yourself and show this is how I work. And if you're very organized and very clear in your steps, this is how you get them to continue with you. And first I tell them, no worries, so I understand that you want this and this. Let me share first of all how I work. And I have a template. I show them depending on what type of design work it is. And I tell them, look, I start with first with sketches. But before sketches, the most important thing is to understand what you want, my dear client. Can you tell me why do you want this? What's the audience? And in the beginning, I downloaded a brief that I found online. I think I found that brief on lynda.com because I started on a graphic design course on lynda.com, and that's where I got the idea of briefs. And I just downloaded the template of what to ask the clients. What's the color palette? What is the audience? Those are basic questions that you can find anywhere if you ask or if you Google design brief or illustration brief. And from there, you have to design your own, depending on, you will see. You don't have to be perfect with the first client. You can experiment and get good while you have more and more clients. That's it for this question. I think I don't see any more. I don't see Robin anymore. I don't know what happened. But by the way, in the meantime, let me answer one question that I saw. What tool I use? I use the Procreate tool. Procreate on my iPad. This is my iPad. Okay, and Procreate tool works on iOS. This is my Procreate tool, and it looks a lot like Photoshop, but it's not Photoshop. It costs around 10 euros, and it's amazing. You can do so many illustrations and styles with Procreate. Yeah, but right now I'm trying to find out. Oh, he's back. Hi.
So I lost my connection. Sorry for
No
that.
worries.
So, Denisa, you can come to the questions tab and you can take questions from there. We are short by time, so let's quickly take some questions. So, Manuel is asking, and it has 4 reports. He's asking about the platform that is good to share design for designers.
For me, the best one is Dribble right now, because Dribble is where people, like real, let's say, solid clients, go to look for illustrators or designers, or Behance, but depends on what type of work or illustrations or design you have. Behance is more for big projects, let's say for showcasing projects that you have already done and showing your client and talk about it. You have their tools to write down how you worked on it. Dribble is simply just showing wireframes, UI, UX work, illustration. But you have to experiment. Again, you have to see which one is best for you. Try all of them and see which one also you like. Maybe you don't even like Behance. For example, I tried with Behance, but I'm not that attracted to it as I'm attracted to Dribble and Instagram. And Instagram is best for sharing, as I told, challenges, process, progress. But on Dribble, I wouldn't upload my less good designs. I would upload just the best of the best. And that's where you should use hashtags. Like if you want to that one to appear on a book cover, write hashtag book cover, package design. Where would you like it to appear? And people anyway will use it wherever they want. But it's best to also show how you imagine that design to be or where to be if you don't have real client work to show. But yeah, experiment.
So, Denisa, let's take this question, and it looks quite interesting. So, if you want to throw some insights on this, Hina is asking, what are some ways of making your feed look coherent and look like a collection and not like a random mess of designs, illustrations, and posts?
On any social media or on Instagram or?
I think she's talking about Instagram only.
Okay, so how to make it look nice?
Maybe you can give a general idea about different platforms, like how it works on different platforms.
So, for example, one thing that I never post on my Instagram account is pictures, photographs. If your content is about illustration, post illustrations. This is my view, and this is how I want to keep my Instagram account neat and nicely looking. I don't like to post the first ever picture that I took of myself, and I put it there on my Instagram is when I announced about the Designhill webinar. That's the only time you will, if you go down now, right there, that's the only one. If you want to show pictures of yourself, show them in stories or highlights, but I never post it on my feed, because when people come, they don't want to scroll pictures with a flower and then your design and then pictures with your dog or food. No, keep it professionally. If you're an illustrator, that page should be about illustration only. And if you post every day, like just illustrations and in your style, it's going to be uniform by itself. It's going to be neat and beautiful because it's just one type of content and that only. If you want to have another type of content, or if you really want your personal one, do it separately, or create a YouTube channel where you can show your face. This is another way, or a blog, or on your website, create an album with yourself. But if you have a various type of content, if you're also a photographer plus illustrator or something, then indeed you can use, there are lots of apps that can show you how to put or layout by color or by style, on how to arrange them, but don't do them miscellaneous. This is how I am. I like to be like on categories, everything, folders. So if you have one illustration, tomorrow you want to post a good photography, do it after like three in a row. Yeah, this is just some basics layout scheme that I'm trying to follow when uploading. For example, even if I have a design, I wouldn't post it today if it doesn't make sense or it doesn't match the color of the other one. But this, again, sometimes I don't even care, because what I care is to show my work. In the end, that thing will go away, because your posts last just, or your fame lasts just based on the last post you uploaded. For example, because you have to scroll, and people who come won't scroll like so much to see how your page looks. I don't think this really matters, but if it really matters to you, those are some basic strategies that I'm following. Not to post anything there, like food, dogs, cats, illustrations, just one type of content.
Okay, great. So let's take this question. It's from Jia. She's asking, I think every full-timer who is like involved in a job and who want to move into freelancing, they want to know this. She's asking how to manage to do both full-time job as well as freelancing, and what do you prefer doing more?
Actually, I would love to find, right now I haven't actually looked, but I would love to find a stable remote job. So to be part of a team and to work just for a single team, I would love that. But right now I still have lots of clients. And the thing is, it depends on how you are, your personality, what you like more. You like to work with a steady agency that will bring you work, or you like to have more freedom and to say no to some people or to some projects. Define your own budget. If you want to be a freelancer, you also have to take into account that you have to have a little bit more skills than just design. Also, very good communicational skills. If you don't have them, work on them. I'm still trying to work on my communicational skills. I get very distracted, as you see. If, for example, so not just communication skills, also how to like the marketing skills, basically what we are talking about here. I'm still working on that as well. Not so communication skills, marketing skills, also skills such as if you're just an illustrator but you want to show behind the scenes, you'd have to get to know not just Adobe Illustrator or Procreate. You'd have to get to know more tools on how to edit the videos, how to manage yourself, how to be on time with the deadlines, schedule your own agenda. So freelancing, it's great if you like so much your freedom that you are ready to learn all those extra skills. But if you are not into that, if you want to stand back and do just art, it's best if you find an agent or the agent finds you, or you just go for a job, a full-time job. But it depends how you are. You have to think about what matters more for you.
Okay. So we have a lot of more questions, but we are really short by time. So guys, I would recommend you can contact Denisa on Instagram, and should be really happy to help you with all your queries regarding illustration, social media design, and designing. And we need to wrap this up because we are already 7 minutes far from the event.
Yeah.
So let's finish
So,
this. So yeah.
thank you so much. Then Herman and Denisa is greeting you. And you can ask anything on my Instagram or send me to denisa@yogatella.com. Send me questions or anything you want, chocolate, Nutella. Yeah, thank you so much.
All right.
And,
All right.
come to Barcelona.
All right, this brings us to the end of this wonderful session with Denisa. This was indeed a value-packed session. Although there is a lot more that we could have discussed, unfortunately, we are limited by time here. I hope you guys loved this session. And once again, I would like to thank you, Denisa, for taking out time to be a part of this event.
To you, thank you to you. It's a very nice opportunity. Was.
All right, guys. So this is not where it ends, and we have a lot more events lined up for you in coming days. The next event is on how to buy and protect your perfect domain name. So if you guys are interested and haven't registered yet, I am putting the link of our event section in the chat section where you can find all the upcoming events and register. And to stay updated with events like these, you can follow us on our LinkedIn page. You can also give suggestions of the topic you would like us to cover and speakers you want us to host. I'm dropping the link of our LinkedIn page in chat section here. And to watch this session and other such wonderful events, subscribe to our event section on designhill.com/events or visit our official YouTube channel. And for all the designers and artists who are listening to this and wish to be a part of thriving design community, visit designhill.com. Also, we have recently launched some cool design challenges which are worth $5,000 per month. Any designer and non-designer can be a part of it and create some awesome designs using our DIY design tool called Designhill Studio. Visit designhill.com studio/challenges and check more about it. You can also find the link in the chat section here. And on that note, I would like to say bye to everyone who joined us here today. Take care, guys, and stay safe.